I'm doing a video randomly in my society. This person calls and he's like, I'm an associate producer at Shark Tank and we discovered you on Instagram and we love your content. Would love for you to come. I genuinely thought it was a scam.
How big is the business right now and how much would you attribute to content?
From a D2C point of view, we're doing some month and we spend 25k on Google ads and everything else is content.
Do you think that works in your favor?
100%.
Being like a lot more bootstrapped than like a bigger company.
It's just me and my father today. Like there's one other person who works with us at the warehouse. Like that is the team size 3. I've always been a content person. I'll spend 40-ish lakhs at max, which is like how much an MBA will cost for 2 years. And if it doesn't work, then I will have better experience than an MBA guy would. So I made a video and that did 2.4 million views.
Whoa.
Like out of nowhere. I think for me, content is more about availability than trying to convince people.
I would love for this episode to be about like all things content and even marketing as a whole, right? Because I feel like you're in this very unique position of not only having done content with like Stoa. I would love to know what you did at Stoa also.
Sure.
With like Stoa, with your own content,
Right.
with the company, but also having like converted that into a business, right?
Right.
And like you were saying, it has had a significant
For
impact
sure,
into
for sure.
like actual tangible revenue. So the show is also about helping people understand like what are the various blueprints that people have used to sort of convert attention into revenue, right?
Fair.
So that's one. So a couple of things like off the top of my head that I'd love to talk about. He mentioned you went on Shark Tank recently. So would love to talk about that. Would love to talk about the Stoa part. And of course, like if we can just talk about the D2C space in general, because I'm very curious about this, right? I keep joining like these late night Twitter space. I don't know if you're on Twitter, but like late night Twitter spaces.
I joined Twitter only after I started Zen Barefoot. I had never used Twitter before. I still don't very often, but yeah.
It was very interesting.
Why did you join?
I thought कि हर जगह थोड़ा तो footprint रहना चाहिए. I don't know. And like that is like one place I think a lot of fitness conversations happen.
Yes,
So I think
surprisingly so.
that is
not
why I
even
think
conversations, but like even conversions. Like
Right,
people actually,
right.
it's very baffling.
what?
Yeah.
People on Twitter are like doctors and whatever, and they sell these courses and they actually sell.
Yeah.
I know this guy Anshul from like a friend of a friend. He has built like a proper business on the side just from his
I think
threads.
Twitter is again one place where people with high income would be, right? Like
Correct.
relatively, I'm assuming. Like that is not the first social media you would join.
Correct.
Right.
Instagram, you'd find people from all over. Twitter is still a little more nuanced that way.
Correct.
Right.
So I think it's easier for higher ticket size products to kind of sell as long as you can convince people.
Right.
Yeah.
And I joined these spaces with like people who are selling women's yoga pants. And you know, like these weird things that you would never. And he's like, mera ad spend is like some 2 crores a month. And I'm like, what is happening
On
here?
Twitter?
2 crores on
Yeah.
Or like generally?
No, like
I mean, generally
Facebook,
also it's
Facebook
crazy.
ads. It's
but-
like massive. They're talking about like, oh, we'll go raise PE funding. And he's just a guy that like, I'm like, it's so difficult for
It
me to
is.
comprehend.
I can't. If I tell my dad that there's like, if I tell my dad I want to spend 2 lakhs a month on marketing, he'd be like he'll like we'll have to sit and discuss this for like some 5 days before it even happens. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, makes sense. So would love
what
to.
would the conversation be like? It's a big P&L conversation for 5 days.
Full. I mean, one key, have you spoken to at least 10 people who've done this before and know
Right.
how to do it? Do you know someone who can do it with you? Because like I have never done paid. But like, of course, like through my network, I know people who have done. So he will make sure that he speaks to them and like all of that. So yeah, we're
Actually,
very
let's
cautious
start
with
there.
our
That's
money.
funny. We were having a conversation last night about like marketing spend when it comes to like with respect to the P&L in a D2C brand, right?
Okay.
We'll get to the marketing actually part right after this. But what is what's the understanding of, hey, like let me do paid versus organic, right? My understanding is that, hey, if you're able to sort of know the lever on your Facebook ads, Instagram ads, whatever, and you have like a decent ROAS, let's say anything more than one practically.
Not
Bro,
really.
like, you
Not
need to
really. Because one would mean that you're getting money.
What you're putting in.
And then there's costs also, right?
Of course. So
you
more
need-
than, I mean, I'm
yeah,
saying
yeah,
ideally,
yeah.
let's say anything more than like 1.5,
Yes,
right? Where
yes.
you're on paper profitable. It's not the best thing.
Yeah, of course.
On
but
paper profitable.
Fair, yeah. Like that is where you're like, ठीक है, पैसा जा रहा है, पैसा आ रहा है, and that is what
and
it is.
ज़्यादा पैसा आ रहा है, right?
Right.
So that is the paid marketing.
Right.
On the organic front, of course, you have to really understand the call to action, the funnel, getting people from one place to the
Right.
other. So like, what does that look like for a brand that is directly directly connected to the consumer without like a platform in the middle.
Oh, interesting. So very honestly, for me, we haven't done paid. Like our whole idea with the first product that we made was one, because I'm in a way, like we think of ourselves as very traditional businessmen. We don't think of ourselves as like a startup that is like, of course, you call it a startup because it is a startup, but we're very first day profitable business chalana hai. Like that is the mentality. We don't want to grow 50x in first year and then be like ab ise profitable banayenge. We're like first day se wahi karna hai. So our idea with the first product was ki it is a tester. One, we're in an industry which is huge. It is growing like footwear, but barefoot shoes nobody knows. Matlab, like there's like a small, like a 0.0001% of the audience who knows about it, and then uska bhi 0.001 who will probably convert. So for us, the idea was jitna organically kar sakte hai, we'll try to understand with our first batch of shoes that we get कि ये चलेगा भी कि नहीं. Like when I started, in my head I was like 2 साल का time है, I'll spend 40-ish lakhs at max, which is like how much an MBA will cost for 2 years. And if it doesn't work, then I will have better experience than an
That's
MBA
a great
guy
mental
would.
model.
Yeah.
Like better than what an MBA guy would, and I'll get a job probably better than what an MBA guy would also. So that is what I kind of went in with. Luckily, it is working so far. So I think we're in that very organic. Like even today, we don't think of like earning crazy profits or like growing very rapidly. So we haven't ventured into the paid marketing aspect of it. But now I think this is the point where we're kind of moving that lever. So till now we've spent, I think, 25,000 every month on Google ads, which was also just like a hygiene check कि कोई Google पे search करे तो उसे product दिख तो जाए ही, even if SEO ranking is not great. Although we've spent a lot of effort on SEO, not money, like a lot of effort. Like I write blogs myself. So for the first 10 months that we were without a product, so April 2024 we started, February 2025 is when we launched. So at that time you have no product. So what will you market, right? That is the idea. But like there's a lot to do, and that is what we kind of focused on. Ki we were doing vlogs on how the product is coming to be on Instagram. I'm writing LinkedIn posts on working with my dad, working with Indian factories, talking to designers, how that is tricky. Because again, these are all things that people want to kind of know. On the SEO side, I was writing blogs every second day at least. So like right now on the website, there will be 80 to 90 blogs already written. So that is how we were like, the day that we launch, we should already have like 100 customers waiting for the product. Like it shouldn't be like day one in February 2025. Day one was April, because one, I'm not working anywhere else. Like I quit my job fully and went all in. So we've been very organic first, and I think that will continue. I don't think like, of course, there's brands that also are very performance marketing first, and they also do really well. But for us, I think given our competency with me and my father kind of working together, I've always been a content person. My dad's, he doesn't even know what a startup is really. So I think that's been like, we've been very conservative with the amount that we spend generally. We worked with some influencers here and there. But again, micro influencers who can whatever work on a barter thing, and we pay them out every month and whatnot. They're also happy. We're also happy. And that is how it's been. But now we know that we have like a good product. One, we got a lot of feedback from people because we're doing organic, right? So people also, today if somebody has to return our product, they go on the website, they push the return button, but it doesn't automatically accept it. I'll get their phone number, their request, and then I'll call them. So I've called every single person who's ever asked for a return, and we've convinced 90% of those people to keep the product, because that is how we realized that it wasn't a product problem. It was a miscommunication from our end on expectations. So one, I solved those expectations, solved for that expectation gap, and then they just choose to keep it. Like it's not like we convince them कि नहीं आप रख लो, आपको 10% 15% discount कर देते हैं, whatnot. Not like that. But so I think that has been bigger for us till now. But now that we know that we have a good product, now is when we're kind of venturing into, okay, now maybe we can do some Instagram ads. Now we know what people want from barefoot shoes. So I think knowing that before spending a lot of money on just like a good montage or like a good, whatever, a product shoot, I don't, like maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. We'll experiment and we'll figure it out. But I think we're in a better place today than we would have been like 10 months before. So,
I just want to go back a little because you guys were doing content about manufacturing.
Yes.
And that really worked for you guys.
It really worked, yeah. People
But
love
just
BTS.
I want to understand what was that process like? Because one, how did you guys come about the idea of, hum manufacturing cover karenge? Because in fact, we have talked about it on our previous episode of vlogging. I want founders to show what it's like behind the building.
Fair. Yeah, I think it really works.
Right.
Because see, this is from that Nikhil Kamath podcast where Nas and Tanmay Bhatt and all those folks were there, right? Nas said that you have to figure out what your access is. So I have access to a footwear factory. People, like everyone in the country wears shoes to like whatever, right? Like the people we want to target, at least they have shoes. Something that you use daily, like how it's made is such a cool thing to know. And like that also I think I realized after we started. So our idea was that we need to tell people how barefoot shoes are different from other shoes. And with shoes, there's this part of manufacturing called the last, which is the first thing you make. It is very weird, but so it's basically it's a foot shaped thing that जिसके around पूरा जूता बनाते हैं, तो you'll whatever.
Right.
So like the shape of the shoe is defined by that. And the biggest differentiator of barefoot shoes with other shoes is the shape. कि आगे से wide होता है, flat होता है and whatnot. So I thought it is cool to tell, like to actually show people how it's different, right? So we were at this small, like probably smaller than this room factory where they make those lasts. And this guy is manually ghissofying, and it's a very manual process. Like it's very hit and trial. Like it took us 6 months to figure out the last bit alone. It was tedious. So I was like, might as well make this something. I mean, it's taking so much mental bandwidth for us. So, so I was there and I saw this heel ka last, right? Which is like full pointy and whatnot. So it is very exaggerated. And then there's ours. So I put up a story and the story got like great likes. So I'm like, next time I'll probably make a video. So I made a video and that did 2.4 million views. Whoa. Like out of nowhere. It's just a voice over ki regular joote aise hote hain, hum aise banate hain, and this is what we're changing. How is it that your shoes aren't foot shaped, which is so random? And everyone was like, wow, so cool. And like if you look at the video, there's nothing special about it. It's too simple, very honestly. It's like blue, aisa chuna wala balls and whatnot. So nothing fancy about it, but it did great. And then I went to the factory and I did how your shoes pe jo pattern hota hai, wo paint kaise hota hai, 700K. And then like just videos on that, right? On the manufacturing, people started loving it because again, it's just that. I think a great thing that I realized again after is that if you look at all those old AXN/Discovery shows,
right?
I think they're very good content pieces that can be replicated in short form. And I think that is like whatever they also used to do factory,
like mega
how
factories.
It's made, mega factory, all those shows, right? As kids.
Yeah.
Like I used to watch
really
them.
like them.
Like if you look at all the Netflix shows that happen today, there was a version of an AXN show that used to happen before, like Beg, Borrow, Steal or whatnot. Like these are just fun concepts, and I think if somebody does them short form, it'll work. And like a brand also doing it is pretty cool. So now when I think of content, I think is there like something that I can borrow from like a huge TV show and make it short form. So for us, Mega Factories was easy access for me. So as Nas said, apna jo access hai, you have to share it with the world, and that is what we did, and it kind of worked. So people just wanted to know ki joote bante kaise. Like even today, if I just do a sit down video and talk about it with nothing inside, it'll do better than my educational videos. Like I know. So I can always keep doing it, but of course we try to keep experimenting.
For any of these videos that have done like that are like these outlier videos, have you like ever tracked, okay, because of this one video I got so many people into the waitlist, or I got so many like maybe orders directly, anything like that?
So orders not really, but like orders, I haven't been able to figure out how orders come. Like they just do when they do. I mean, there's no trend. Like I've tried to figure out if like Sundays do better than Tuesday. No pattern I've been able to figure out, at least in the last 6-7 months. But waitlist, yes. So whenever these would do great, right? Of course, website traffic would go bonkers. Like it'll increase 10x, 12x. And then of course, so on our website, we also did this thing because again, 10 months, there's no product, right? Why will somebody come on the website even? So of course, SEO was one way to get people, at least get them familiarized, but they'll probably read the blog halfway and then leave. So you need something from them also. So then I went to the basement of my society. I recorded some random videos of me doing calf raises and some exercises. So I spoke with a couple of physios and I created like a mobility guide. ki if you have like a back issue, these are the 10 exercises that you can do. This is a 15-minute routine. So I made that video and I put that in a Notion doc, and I'm like, if you want access to this, you just put in your email ID and you get it. So then again, when we launched, we already had 1,000 people on our mailing list. So I think again, that is one way we kind of got data from people. And today we don't send out mails, which is, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I hate mails personally that brands keep sending ki hamara chai le lo, hamara juta le lo, hamara
20% off.
Yeah,
5% off.
Yeah, I think people, if they need you, they'll find you. You just need to be available.
Yeah.
So I think for me, content is more about availability than trying to convince people. So I think we're doing fine with that. We can be more available, which is how we kind of grow and whatnot. But yeah.
If you're comfortable sharing, how big is the business right now and how much would you attribute to content?
So there's two parts of the business. One is the D2C bit. One is a B2B bit, which is like a retailer partner that we have. And we're kind of expanding that bit also because a lot of people want to try the shoes before they buy it. So like from a D2C point of view, we're doing 6 to 7 lakhs a month. And we spend 25K on Google ads, out of which has like a ROAS of 3-ish as of now. Initially, it was around 6. But now our retail partners also run ads on our product only. So there's a little cannibalization there also. And now there's more competition also, which did not exist before. And I've heard that it usually dips eventually generally. So I'm comfortable with that. But so whatever, 75K basically is coming from there and everything else is content. Like we're not doing a lot of offline. We're doing some affiliate marketing, which is also now, like I think we're getting maybe 20,000-30,000 from there, but that is about it. So everything else is content.
Everything else is fully organic.
Fully organic.
Do you funnel people using like a link or do you, some Instagram pages have like a store within the page, right?
Oh yeah.
I think you go through the ad.
We don't have that. Yeah, because again, I think we're not running any ads, right? I think you can still probably have like a store on the page. But we have just one product and 3 colors. So I think it'll look worse if there's a store.
Right.
So for now, I think like a lot of general D2C things won't apply to us because we're very new. But we've tried to kind of take it very organically, and people could come to the website. There's abandoned checkout. So I'll call every single person ki अरे आप आए थे आपने try नहीं किया क्यों नहीं किया whatnot. So we've been just doing that.
Do you think that works in your favor?
100%.
Being like a lot more sort of bootstrapped than like a bigger company that would have like these automated systems for these things?
A lot of automation folks also kind of reach out regularly ki abandoned checkouts ke liye we'll send them updates and what. But it's like as a person, it's very annoying for me. Plus, like in most cases, people don't read like an automated message to begin with. Even if I'm pretty sure again for a scale it works. For a scale, I can't call every single person, right? But as soon as they hear ki the founder is calling me, they feel special. Like a lot of people don't even they don't want to believe that I'm the founder. But like I think they feel good about it. And then I get feedback also, right? Ki website pe ye cheez kharab thi. Like I tried paying with a credit card, it didn't work. So then I know I have to go back and figure that out. Or like it would be better if I knew the width of the shoe also. So now we've updated the page because so I think today we're in a very learning phase of things. We're like even if we make a loss, which we don't today, but even if we do, we don't mind it because it's like for us, it's not a 10 years mein 50x growth and then you sell or you whatever do an IPO or whatever. For us, it's like now this is a business that I'm going to do for life unless it doesn't work out, but I know we'll make it happen.
Right.
So yeah, we're in the 6 months is nothing for a 50-year brand.
Right. Yeah. That's actually a great way to look at it. Like if you're thinking in the scale of 50 years, then 6 months is a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
I'm curious about like the D2C space in general.
Okay.
Is this the case with like, for example, I know Fredo is sort of a competitor in the same space, right? And like the footwear, not exactly, they have other accessories. I was in the gym yesterday, I saw someone wearing like a Fredo sock shoe. Right. And that reminded me it's kind of, it's not a shoe, but like.
But I would say that product is a direct competition, yes.
Right. Of course. Company is not. Sure. Yeah. They're into like a lot of other categories also. Yeah. Is this the case with them also? Like, or maybe not them in specific, but like the space in general, like D2C, right? That, hey, either it is performance or it is like, talk to us about the basics of marketing in a D2C space.
See, I think there's whatever, if you want to bucket it, there are a couple of things, right? There's one organic content which will happen on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or your LinkedIn, right? I think these are the major places where people are. Of course, there's Moj and whatnot. If you're in that kind of a product category, like a Misho product category, then there's those platforms also that you can explore. उसके अलावा there's performance marketing, which is ad spends. This will be on your Google, this, that. Then within organic, there's also whatever SEO and all of that, right? इसके अलावा there's affiliate marketing that will happen. इसके अलावा there's whatever.
There's also platforms, right? Like you list on Amazon
List
and that
on
becomes
Amazon.
a channel in itself,
Right,
Flipkart
right.
or all of these other.
Right. So for us, we've been very organic first. I think most brands also have like organic presence. Like I doubt there's more, like I think every brand does organic in one way or another. Could be on X, could be on like for Frito, I think X is a big
For the
big
founder,
lever for the founder,
personal brand
right?
is
So
big,
personal
yeah.
brand is big. For them, performance is also huge. Like I think they're very performance first.
Yeah, correct.
Which I think works in their favor for sure. I mean, otherwise, why would they be doing? Like they have huge marketing spends, but they're doing really well. So I think you need to figure the kind of audience you're working with, what they expect. For us, we didn't want to go into performance because it's a new category altogether. And again, we're bootstrapped, right? We don't have that kind of money to lose. If like performance is a very hit or a miss, at least when you're starting, right? You'll have to run multiple experiments, then figure out what works, and then you double down. We can probably do that with a small budget also, but it was just key. I don't know how to do it. I'll probably not do it, and we'll see. But performance is also like a great way to grow. Like a lot of people don't like think that performance is like a last resort, but I don't think that is true. It's a different skill altogether. And I think Frito is like a great example of how you can actually leverage it and like do really, really well. Even Amazon for them like is a huge lever now. Even whatever Zepto, Blinkit, like they're on all these platforms also. So there's like a lot of ways to do things. For us, the idea has been to gain information. So we wanted to know who our customers are. So we didn't go on Amazon, Flipkart, put our products there, right? We wanted that control, whatever the customer experience, and also to be able to like get in talks with them directly.
So when people put out products on Amazon or Flipkart, they don't know what is happening on the customer front.
Not really.
So you just get an order detail.
Yeah. That is about it. So you won't get a lot of things that are happening, right? Like you'll know, okay, this product will be picked up, it'll reach the customer. What if it doesn't? Then they complain to Amazon. Then Amazon will tell you. And then like it's a whole, like today we also have like a lot of issues with logistics ki idhar se kuch bheja, udhar surf nikal aaya. like this is the third day of us started shipping, like when we started shipping, right? 5 people same day, we sending this through e-cart or whatever. This is the Flipkart का वो जो है. And 5 people got some random, किसी का टूटा हुआ चप्पल निकला डब्बे के अंदर. And like one of them was my friend only, like a college friend. And he told me first, and I'm like, चलो ठीक है, कम से कम इसे. And then 4 more people, and I'm like, this is crazy now. How do you even figure this out?
Yeah.
So you raise a complaint with the aggregator, and then the aggregator is like, आप proof भेजो कि आपने सही चीज पैक करी थी. Now we didn't even know that we are supposed to record every single packing, and I don't think anyone does it very honestly.
Okay.
But वो बोले कि हम कैसे believe कर ले आपने सही चीज डाला and they got the wrong thing and whatnot. So then that is like a whole loop, and that is the most annoying bit of this business, of any D2C business where you're sending products online. अभी cost बचाने के लिए we were also working with like e-cart, which is relatively cheaper, and Blue Dart is much more expensive and whatnot. Today we send with Blue Dart because we're like, I can't deal with this every single day, and of course it's like bad experience for the customer, right? So we don't want that. But yeah, so then we will take like customer ko to hum like there's zero like we don't put anything on the customer. Like even if they're scamming us, we're like fine, like you take another product. So we went to a local guy. He's like, ये 5 product है, ये जल्दी से भेजना overnight type. So he'll send it and whatnot. Those kind of things happen which you can't control on those platforms as much. So today the customer will call me directly कि अरे आपने क्या भेज दिया, कुछ और निकल. Today also it happened. Because there was this one place which wasn't serviceable by Blue Dart, so we sent it via some other courier. So, and again, so now abhi ek packet bana hua hai ghar pe that we need to ship to that guy differently. So these things are bound to happen. So we just wanted to be in control. Again, the idea was we need feedback. Plus Amazon, etc. They have like huge cuts for the amount of inventory we have, for the amount of money that we're trying to put in, the kind of growth that we want in our own limited whatever, we wouldn't have been profitable if we were Amazon first. Plus, we wanted our customers to be educated about the product before they bought. Now, Amazon Pay, you'd probably be shown the product because you search for, let's say, shoes. But I don't want somebody to buy barefoot shoes because they search for shoes. So barefoot shoes ke saath the thing is, the first 3-4 months are going to be slightly uncomfortable, right? It's like going to the gym. The first 3-4 months are slightly uncomfortable. Only after that do you start seeing betterment in yourself and feel more confident and whatnot. Similar thing. हमारे दिमाग में वही था कि यार, if Amazon पे we start selling, we'll get like so many returns, so many exchanges, this, that, whatnot. We don't want to get into the operational bit
Amazon
of it.
basically will kill the business automatically.
Yeah. Like for us at
Yeah.
that scale, it would
Yeah.
have like, I don't know, we haven't done it yet, but in our heads we were like, we just don't want to experiment in in an environment that is like that we don't know. Like our website, we know, right? Something breaks, we can fix it. Like the customer is there, we'll call, we'll be like, Roko zara 2 minutes, please. Whatever.
The problems come to you.
Yeah, the problems come to us, so we can figure it out. So we've been very cautious till now. We've been very personal. It's like I've delivered some products myself. मेरे शहर में आता था तो I like, even when I moved to Bangalore, I was like, I'll deliver. Might as well. I mean, I had some inventory here. I'm like, देखते हैं मतलब what is people's first reaction to when they receive the product, when they look at the packaging and whatnot, right? So of course I'm pretty sure it's slightly biased because I'm there, but it's still a good feeling to kind of see people see your shoes for the first time. And yeah,
Do you wait until they see the product to say I am actually the founder, or do you go give I am the founder?
no. I think so I never kind of reveal that I am.
Okay.
But yeah, but it's just good to kind of know. Yeah. So till now nobody's been like कि भैया इसे वापस ले जाओ, नहीं चाहिए. But I don't know if it happens. It happens. I mean, fair.
Right. What's your background? Like, have you been in marketing throughout, or like?
Oh no, not at all. I'm an engineer by study. I did mechanical engineering. I always wanted to be like an engineer building bikes or cars or whatever, like every engineer ever. But so I went to BITS. I did 4 years of that. I also did economics at college. So it was a 5-year integrated course. And I just knew that
Oh wait, is that how you know the Stoa guys? They're also from Bits.
They're also from. I didn't know. Not. Okay. I mean, yeah. I actually know them because of a senior of mine. Yes. That's also like a interesting story. But yeah. So I did that, and then I knew that I did not. So I did an internship with JP Morgan. I got an offer also, good offer. But I was like, I don't want to sit in front of I just hate being indoors generally. I was like, I can't do this Excel like shit all day long. So I just need to I need to find something that I want to do. So I knew I wasn't going to be a consultant also. I can't do long hours also. I'm I'm very chill that way. Like I don't stress a lot. And I think that comes from my grandfather, my father. They're also kind of like my father's been working from home for the last 35 years.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What does he do?
So we have a foundry in Punjab. My grandfather and my dad's elder brother, they kind of manage the factory in Punjab. My dad came to Delhi a while back because there was terrorism in Punjab and there was no, the factory had to be shut down. So he came to Delhi for a job to support the family. And then he was here, he was doing a job. Then the factory started running because things got better. And then he just stayed back because he was doing business development in Delhi. So that is how it started. And then he's always been working from home. He's never had an office to work out of. So even for me growing up, he was always home, which is not the best thing, but it's, but of course, so I think that is why also in our heads, because we come from a business family, there was always this thing ki apna kuch karna hai. I mean, it's there somehow. I don't know why. But so I was the first person in my family to have, and this is 4 generations. I'm the first person to have ever done a job. Oh. Nobody in my dad did it for a bit, but to have done a job right out of college, as a job, and think of a job as a long-term thing. Even for my dad, he knew that he's doing it for a year and whatnot, because eventually he's gonna be in business. He was actually very smart. He's a rank 2 in mathematics in Punjab, but he wasn't kind of allowed to go for higher studies because eventually the factory aana kya karoge ye wo. So I think a lot of things he made me do because he wanted to do also. So yeah, so I studied there, and then I went for a founder's office role in Bombay in a food tech company. So I went vegan third year of college, and I was like, अपना जो मन है वो करेंगे. Like again, comes from a lot of privilege, of course, but I was like कि ठीक है कोई बात नहीं, we'll earn a little less, but we'll be happy. And that job was shit. It was so bad. I can't, like, we used to go to office and there was no product. So when I joined, I was told that in the next 2 months, we're going to launch a product. So you're going to work on whatever go-to-market and business development overall. It's small team, 8 people, 2 founders, 6 other folks, some scientists, food tech scientists and whatnot. Even after I left, so I stayed there for 7 months. After 8 months of that, they launched a product, which again shut down in 3 months. So it was that bad of a company. And we just used to go to the office, play Uno, come back home. And that is about, like, nobody was doing anything. They were messing with, we spent 1.5 crores without a product on an office. Does not make any sense at all. And for the first 3 months, I was actually building the office. So founder's office got like a different role altogether. I was literally building the office. And so I left, and that is when my friend, a college friend, he introduced me to Aditya, who's the founder of Stoa. I was at his sister's wedding, and then he said कि अभी नाशिक आया है तो might as well meet Aditya, because I was like, I'm done with this place. So I met Aditya, and he told me about this role that they're trying to figure out, which is going to be more community first. So it's going to be outdoors. You're going to be doing events, some content, this, that. And I'm like, this sounds really cool. So he was like, जैसे Zomato ने Zomaland बनाया है, so you would be the guy in our company who would probably eventually build a Zomaland. So I'm like, this is the coolest job role ever, right? And he's like, we're very flexible. Like, you just need to engage the community, get them to be your marketers, right? At the end of the day, whatever, social proof is everything. This is an ed tech also. So that is everything. So I'm like, cool. Same day, I called Bombay back home, back to my earlier founder. And I'm like, I'm quitting today. I'm not going to be coming back.
Right.
And he's like, you have a notice period to serve. I'm like, aap 1 lakh rupees cut lo. Like, I don't care. I'm just not coming. And honestly, like, I went to a wedding telling him कि मैं 3 दिन में वापस आऊँगा, and I just never went back to office because this happened. And then I joined, and then I moved to Bangalore, and then 2 years of learning. So I think this, very honest, I, like most people, I tell Stoa was my first job because this is the first place that I learned. So that is where I learned content. That is where I learned community engagement. And I think that has been what we've kind of translated here also. So we do events at Zen also, like we do walks, and so it's just fun. I think it's very people first, and I think all businesses, like, people forget, but it's at the end of the day, you're serving someone. And even with the product, right, there's this interesting philosophy, minimalism, is just whatever, living with less, right? That products are basically, so the founder of minimalism philosophy, they say that products also at the end of the day are subscriptions. They're not purchases.
You have to buy a new one at some point.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, you buy a product that will serve a purpose in your life. So at the end of the day, you have to convince the customer that my product will serve a purpose in your life for, let's say, 4 years, if a shoe lasts 4 years, right? So you're paying me whatever, 4,800 for 4 years. So no product, like, a lot of people think that service business and product businesses are different. Of course, they are in some aspects, but I think from a very first principles thing, they're the same thing. Like, a product sold still has like a commitment to keep on your behalf. Like, a service is me serving someone for 4 years, but a product is my product now serving them for 4 years, right? So they're similar in that aspect. So I think we think of our product as that. So if we make a commitment that a product will do something, it should do that. And that is how we need to convince them. And that is what we do with our events and our content, that our product over the next 6 months will make your feet stronger. And over the next 3 years, you will be in a better position. You will get injured less, this, that, and whatnot. So now that is the flow that we kind of go with.
Right.
Yeah.
So Stoa was which year?
Stoa was 2021. 2021 I joined, and I was there until 2023. Yes, 2023 end.
And this must have been like offline? No, online.
So first 3-ish months were online, but then it moved to offline pretty quickly, basically. So March 2021, I was in Bangalore. Yes.
So how many months into the company did you sort of venture into content, basically?
when I was at Stoa,
Yeah.
I think 8-9 months after. So usse pehle I was doing events and whatnot. I started doing some reels here and there for the event. Like I'd record,
Right.
but then like somebody else at the company would edit them. And then when I went to Punjab, then I was at home, and then I started kind of doing things on my own page just for the fun of it. And then Aditya at the company was also like, ये तो तुम ही कर लेते हो, उसका bandwidth खाली करो, तुम ही कर लो. And then it became a thing that I started doing it for the company's page also, and for my page also. Like I used to post every single day. So I was like, agar it's 11:59 and I haven't recorded anything, I'll just record something and post it. Like I don't care. And like even today with Zen also, I don't think too much before I post. I'm like, you reach people, you say what you want to say with conviction, and people who want to know will know, and they'll buy. And we see direct correlation there. I mean, when we post, people do, like our volumes, our sales volumes also goes up, and if we don't, it doesn't also. So we make sure that we're regular in some capacity.
You have a very interesting way of looking at content. Just for the viewers also, just to simplify, like how do you look at content? Like how much time does it take for you to make one piece of content that you release on the company page, let's
On
say?
the company page. So one, I think of it as a conversation. At the end of the day, somebody who's scrolling on Instagram wants, like, they're scrolling with like zero mind to what they're scrolling, right? I mean, all of us are like, whatever, like there's nothing else to do, might as well scroll. So one, you need to grab their attention. So you need to figure out like the pain point that they're kind of dealing with, right? Could be like, whatever, I have back pain, I have heel pain, this, that. These are very easy triggers for, like, we realize that you all, like, before you make content, you need to know that the kind of people that you're serving. So it has to align with what the brand is also serving when it comes to like a brand page, right? So for us, it's people who are in some sort of pain, or people who are very concerned about their fitness, which are also people who are in some sort of pain. So at the end of the day, we're talking to people who are concerned about their fitness and want to solve it, not with medication or not with like a crutch, but with like self-betterment. So all our content pieces need to fit into that box at least. So that is what we do. So we will talk about, okay, do you have heel pain? If you have heel pain, then this is a product that may, that, like, whatever, that we can tell you that it will help you, because your regular shoes are not great, and this is why they're not great. So that is how I will think of like a script or whatnot. And interestingly, I don't even write scripts. It's not the best thing to do, I think, of course, for a brand page. But like when I was doing content for my own personal page, so my personal page became big because I started doing videos about friends. So I'll be like, मेरा एक दोस्त है जो बहुत दारू पीता है, and everyone has that one friend जो बहुत दारू पीता है, and you will probably share it with that guy, right? So I realized that if you figure out like a persona, talk about the viewer's relationship with that persona, and that is why the family reels also do really well, because you're showing a relationship. So there's a share, like the share button was my go-to. There's this reel that I did very recently, which did really, I think it's at 2 million or something, which was कि आज मैं किसी भी conversation में बैठता हूँ, people only talk about शादी. And I think today, at least at what age I am at, 20, whatever, 25 to 29, 30, 31, everyone's just talking about somebody or the other getting married, right? And that, again, it's sharing, right? Because you'll probably know someone who's getting married in like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. And even if not, जिसके घर पे बात चल रही है शादी की and whatnot. So I think that is what I have been able to figure to some extent. And that is what I try to apply here also. So it's just that. But when it comes to actually recording, shooting, and editing and posting, I think the whole process is probably 25 to 30 minutes. I don't spend more than that on it. So for me right now, I'd go to a park right across my home. I'll jump around, do some random shit, record myself, come back home, edit it in 5 minutes, because I have, so while I'm recording, I'm also thinking, okay, iske baad ye theek lagega. So I'm kind of storyboarding in my head at that point. So when I come back home, it's more about just putting things together, writing down a caption and just posting. And even if it doesn't do well, I'll make a new video on the same topic tomorrow. So now, whatever, even if this did whatever 2,000 views, it's okay, because tomorrow I'll make one that will probably do 10,000 on the same topic, because now I know what didn't work maybe. So it's like, I'm like, it's one extra reel, right? At the end of the day, it's not like you have limited slots. You can post 10,000 reels a day if you want to. Why is there a limitation ki maine galat cheez bana di? There's no galat. I mean, yeah, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very interesting. How was the experience pitching all of this to investors, like going from bootstrap to wanting to raise funds? Would love to know the story there.
Okay, so one, we still don't want to raise funds because, of course, there's that added pressure of an investor telling you कि growth कहाँ है, अपने को नहीं करना है वो. Like one, our brand also kind of doesn't stand for becoming 100% better every year. It's 1% better, like what you say in sports, right? कि 1% better every day is good enough. Like by the end of it, you'd be much, much better. By the end of a year, you'll be like so much better. So we are in that philosophy with respect to business and with what we want to kind of portray with the brand also. When we just started, we didn't even know if the market was ready, right? The Indian market for barefoot shoes and whatnot. But we saw like a lot of other brands, like Fredo came in, they launched a product. We know of other brands that are coming in. Rara is another brand that's launched like a week, 2 weeks back.
Right.
So we know that the market is kind of hot. And a lot of investors started reaching out. So initially I hadn't, because like I think a lot of investors knew me because my work at Stoa also, like through someone or whatever, not directly. So access was there. I was posting on LinkedIn quite frequently. A couple of my LinkedIn posts did really well also. So because of that, I think people knew me. And they started reaching out. And I was like, okay, I've never done this before. Might as well get into a conference. So I would tell them that, see, we are not actively looking to raise. We're also a proprietorship firm in which you can't raise technically. Like it's me who's the company. So if the company messes up, I mess up.
Yeah, you're liable.
Yeah, I'm liable. Right. And accounting is easy for that. And that is why we've gone with that, because again, it's just me and my father today. Like there's there's one other person who works with us at the warehouse, but that is about it. Like that is the team size, 3. So,
which is pretty incredible, right? For the size that you are doing, that's a great sort of long-term business to have.
Of course. I mean, we know that there's limitations to it also. Like when we're traveling, we can't post content as regularly. So it's only when we come back we're able to do it. So I make sure that when I'm traveling, I do a lot of stories. So I'll click a lot of pictures and do a lot of stories at least.
Actually, that's very interesting. I knew about Zen Barefoot before he mentioned it, but I don't remember how.
I am pretty sure it's because of the reels.
It could be,
but I haven't seen you. I didn't see his reels before, but I knew that Zen Barefoot as a thing exists.
That's
which is a very fascinating thing.
That's a good thing, I'd say.
Yeah,
I've done something right. Yeah. So yeah, you're in the top of the funnel, but we haven't been able to kind of grab your attention enough,
right,
for you to know what we do exactly. Fair.
Right. How did Shark Tank happen? Like, you went on Shark Tank recently, right? Right now it's November.
Yeah, I think
this is right before China.
22nd October we shot. October, right? We're in November.
Like 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. Yeah.
And where did I would love to know like the behind the scenes.
So I'll tell you. So again, I'm doing a video randomly in my society, and I get this call, and this call is from somebody, and I very honestly thought it was a scam call because this person calls and he says that I'm one of the associate producers from Shark Tank, and there's this form that if you fill, you can participate. One, I hadn't heard of Shark Tank taking registrations through socials, so I was like, "Itna bada show hai, ye market to karte
Wait, so they called you on Instagram?
They called me on.
How did they get your number?
I have my number almost everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Correct. Like
I have my number on my Instagram.
His number
website.
is customer support basically.
Yeah. My number is customer support. So I have like a 2-SIM phone, एक personal, एक business. So the business number is everywhere. So yeah, this person calls and he's like, I'm an associate producer at Shark Tank and we're looking for a brand. We discovered you on Instagram and we love your content and we love for you to come. And I'm like, my 8,000 followers ka page hai. How did you even discover? And I genuinely thought it was a scam. They're trying to get me to click on a link and whatnot. They take all my money. So I went on LinkedIn, I put down his name and it actually said after the call. And I was like, I told him कि we're not actively looking to raise, but he's like, आप पहले दो rounds जो होते हैं वो form rounds होते हैं. So you just whatever fill out a form and that is about it. After that, if you don't want to come, you let us know. Because तब तक हमारा भी कुछ खास investment नहीं है आपके journey में, तो we're also fine with that. I'm like, ठीक है, it is a form, might as well fill it. So I went back, I did full research on him. It's really happening. Then I actually saw on socials also that they're taking applications. So I'm like, cool, this is not a scam. So then I went on to the Shark Tank website. It's a small form. Basically, they weed out the very off creatures. So I filled out the form. We got selected for the from the first round, which is like, I think if you fill it, you'll also like, it's just sanity check. Second form is a little more comprehensive. You have to fill why you started it, founders, this, that, kitna equity chahiye, ye, wo, whatnot, that whole shebang. And we got selected. And then they're like, abhi Mumbai aao for like a in-person round. I'm like, I don't know if I wanna, like, it's a lot of whatever. It's
Investment, you have to
investment,
time,
yeah, from a
effort,
time,
money,
yeah. And like, and I'm again working with my dad is also like, so my dad will also go on screen, which he hated when I started doing vlogs also initially. He's like, meri shakal mat dalna vlog mein. मैंने बोला founder हो भाई, थोड़ा करना पड़ेगा ना. Like so our first video and all our videos were family startup vlog. Like we pitched it as that I'm starting a business with my family, which is also unique. So then I somehow convinced him. So now he's comfortable with being in vlogs. And so I was like, hey, Shark Tank ko bole interesting to hai, because we also watch Shark Tank together as a family. It's like, again, like a show that is easy to watch with the family, right? So and everyone in the family also, when you start up, is like, Are Shark Tank pe kab aaoge, Shark Tank. So my dad was also like, wo halo effect of the show.
Right.
So he was like, okay, interesting to hai, to theek hai. So there's a round before the shoot where they there's like a producer who would probably sit, or like somebody from the team, like a business rep, and they'll do like the whole pitch thing in like a small room. And whatever, sanity check, understanding if like we'll be good on camera, we'll be able to speak well, whatnot.
That's very interesting. Can you talk more about that? Like, how do they do that? Like, how do they vet you?
It's a very similar setup. So I'll tell you what it was. So it was a hotel, and then there was a huge hall, and multiple brands were sitting outside. I think they schedule it, of course, across 3-ish months. So there'll be 2 people sitting in front of you. They're recording it for themselves. Like, it'll never get out. And then you have like a screen, you have like a small table where you can put your products. And then you just do that 80-90 second pitch. You prepare whatever you want to, and then you kind of go and do that. And then they'll ask you questions. Very similar to what happens on Shark Tank also. So it's just that. So I think for them, one, they want to, so any doubt that they have with respect to business, they know that, okay, this person will be able to answer, right? Like, this is what the discussion will probably. So for us, it was market size, because of course, barefoot shoes as a market size today, India is probably 30-40 crores at max, which as a market size is like
Nothing.
Yeah. Like it's nothing. And this is what actually eventually also we spoke on Shark Tank about, like the Shark Tank shoot. So they asked us a lot of questions. We were able to answer them, and then we got selected for the shoot also. So then I got a mail abhi recently, I think October first week only. Like, I didn't get a lot of heads up, very honestly. Like, they just tell you, okay, 3 weeks later, are you free? And I was like, cool, yeah, we're free. So they're like, okay, theek hai, hum 3 din baad batayenge if you get selected or not. So then 3 days later, they're like, yeah, you're selected. You have to be here and here. Your shoot's 22nd to 24th. And you come to
22nd to 24th.
So
it's multiple days.
Yeah, no. So the shoot is 1 day. 1 day is practice. 1 day before that is practice. And then 1 day before they just, they have like briefing, a meeting and whatnot. So it's like a whole process, right? Like, it's a TV show.
In the 3 days, the first day is sort of
Prepping, like a meeting with the team.
Right.
And after that, there's like a on-set practice.
Oh, okay.
With the sharks or
Without the
sharks?
sharks. Yeah,
Oh.
Sharks won't be there for practice. Yeah.
Right.
They're too busy. And then the next day is the shoot.
Oh, okay.
And like a lot of people in my family at least thought ki you have to pay to be on Shark Tank. One, you don't.
Yeah.
That's what I also thought.
Yeah. No, you don't.
He
You
was
don't.
like, oh, it's a very big expense. I don't think you have to pay to be
You
on a
just have
TV
to-
show.
And they even reimburse you for travel.
Oh.
Yeah. Like to some extent, not all, like, of course, but they like, one stays free, food is like, it's yeah, you don't have to pay practically anything. Like the first round when you travel, etc., you have to, but like after that, like the shoot was very comfortable for us. It's just long hours because you're waiting a lot. There's multiple brands there, and it's of course tricky to manage so many people. So it's tricky, but yeah. So we just went, and then the pitch went. So it's and like, again, nothing is scripted, but the prep starts like, so as soon as they called us, after that they're like, 2 weeks you give to us. So in that time they prep you for the first 80 seconds ka jo pitch hota hai, 80-90 seconds ka pitch. That will happen in collaboration. Like, you can't go and do whatever you want. So you write a script, they vet it, they make it better, then you make it better. And like, the script changed until 1 day before the shoot also. So it's like every person who hears it is like इसमें ये change कर सकते हैं क्या, and then if you're comfortable you say yes and whatnot, and then यहाँ पे ये cartwheel कर सकते हो क्या and whatnot. So I did everything that I could in my power to make it as PR worthy as possible, because there's like a shoot does not mean you'll get telecasted,
Right.
so they have like some buffer, of course. So you also as a person who spent so much time and energy into it want to at least be on TV. So I was like, fine, we'll do whatever we have to do. So there's again costumes and whatnot, like what will you wear? So you have to like, there's some 5-7 teams working there, and on the shoot day also it's very quick. I mean, you just go, you have like a setup also that you have to prepare. So there's the logistics team who's kind of working on it and whatnot. So it's crazy how quick they are with the kind of production that they have. Of course, I mean, of course they can do what they do, and that is why they're a great show. But yeah, it was really a fun experience to be there.
So this is one thing that I was wondering, for anyone that goes on a show like Shark Tank, does it have, I mean, I'm sure it does, but does it have meaningful impact on the business? Because I've heard, I don't watch Shark Tank that much. I've heard that if you go on, like the day it airs, it like 10x's your business.
I think, see, at the end of the day, one, you're being seen by like 1 crore people at the same time. Like even the slightest of conversion to the website will like you'll still probably get like at least 10,000 people on your website in that day. Yeah. And then of course some people will watch it the next day and the next day and the next day and whenever. So of course I think and like basic 1% conversion on the website, that's also like crazy good orders, right? So it's just that.
And the whole thing, is it like organic of what we see on screen is actually what happens, or do they cut in the middle when something was not right? You have to redo it.
No. So it's only, I fumbled during my pitch first time. One, they get you to practice a lot of times so that you don't. I did. They made me do that bit again. So the first 70, 80, 90 seconds, I think that they try to get it perfectly. And that is also speculation, very honestly. This is based on because after the sharks went away, they asked me if I could do it again, then I did it. But I'm like, other people, maybe they didn't fumble or whatnot, but for them a reshoot didn't happen. So I'm assuming my reshoot happened because I fumbled. But other than that, anything that happens within the tank with the sharks, that 100% organic. Like there's zero drama to it ki अरे अनुपम यहाँ पे ये नहीं था तो थोड़ा तेज बोलो या whatever. No, like the way he says it in his own way or whatever.
Right.
For us, he wasn't there.
Right.
It was different set of sharks, but yeah.
So how is it? Like they're sitting in the room and then you're like outside and you walk in and then you walk out. Like it's,
and they tell you how to walk in and whatnot 5 minutes before you have to walk in. Like there's no practice on that. So you're in your head you're like, damn.
like they keep you on your toes. So the reaction is organic, right?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah. And the sharks have no idea who's gonna be in. Before they see the setup, they wouldn't even know what brand is coming in. So they will have zero idea what's going to happen.
How much is like the total duration of your like pitch to conversation, the whole segment?
I think it depends on the conversation, on how it goes. But for us, it was an hour roughly. I know a couple of people who also had like a conversation that went up to 2 hours. So I think depends on the kind of questions they have. If they're out too early, then it ends, right? I mean, like if they're very convinced that they don't want to invest, it'll end early. If they're speculating this, that, if there's more questions, they'll ask more questions. So there's no hard limit for them also. But like, I think that is the ballpark. Roughly.
And do you get like rights to the footage? Could you use this in like performance ads?
I think last season, a lot of controversy happened around it. Like some people used it and then Sony was like, wait, this is our IP. So this time I think they have some better, like they told us that they'll be giving us some footage that we can kind of use for ads and whatnot.
Right.
And of course then you need to put as seen on Shark Tank and whatnot and this and that. So it's tricky legally.
Right.
So yeah, we will see. I mean, I have no clue on that, but yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
did you talk to other people who had also gone on Shark Tank before you went? Like what did they say?
One, I know someone who went to the very first season. I know someone who went very recently. These are also folks from Stoa, by the way. So that 2 years of my life now has helped me like crazy good. So for them, they also like, I think they told me that it's chill. Like, and it is also like a lot of people like, of course, it depends on the edit, on however you edit, like you can make it as controversial as you want. You can make it as flowery as you want. So we'll see how that comes out. But but it's very chill. Like they also said that at the end of the day, it's a conversation like this is, right? Like if you start asking me business questions, then this becomes Shark Tank.
Right.
Like it's not any more
minus the thousands of crores. Yeah. We are just thousands of crores away from being a Shark Tank.
Fair. but there's nothing like it's that simple, very honestly. And the sharks to us at least were very sweet in a way where, like, let's say when I fumbled, they're like, chill karo, stress nahi hai. Like it's us. Like it's just 5 people you're talking to.
Right.
And even with their questions, they were never it was all suggestions on what they liked, what they didn't like, what we're doing well, what we're not. But there was no random bantering or like just beating us up for no reason. So the idea for me when I was at Stoa, so I left my job at Stoa not to start Zen Barefoot, but because I wanted to do a walk from Kanyakumari to Kashmir.
Oh,
correct.
And this was a passion project. I basically saw a YouTube video during COVID. This is Mike Posner, Live Before I Die.
Yeah.
He does the West Coast to East Coast.
Then he gets bitten by a rattlesnake, he goes back, recovers, comes back.
So I'm like, this is such a cool thing. How has nobody done this in India? And I go on Google. This is during COVID. And I see that a lot of people have done this in India. Only they did it for, like, let's say somebody did it for to kind of promote making roads safer for women. Somebody did it for garbage and whatnot, making people aware on that. I was like, I have to do this. And
how long would that take you? That would take you like years, right?
No.
Oh, come on.
So if you do, so India, south to north, like if you go via Bombay, like if you want to skip
detour.
MP, UP, like a little major cities and whatnot, you'll take, so it's 4,000 kilometers. So it's not a lot. Like if you do whatever. So my idea was I'll do 5 days every week because I might need breaks here and there and whatnot, or maybe like a bigger break in the middle, whatnot. So for me, the initial plan was 4.5 months. So I left my job. I'm like, Aditya sir, I'm going to do this October onwards and I won't be around. So he's like, cool, theek hai, tum ye break lo. And like, he's like, I can't guarantee you that we'll hire you back, but if there's an opening, I will be happy to. So it was a great conversation with him also. He's also very excited about it. And then I go on to raise funds for it also from this company called Khayal. So I was reaching out to everyone. I reached out to Decathlon and whatnot, a shoe brand, this and that, right? Like every single person. Like I was thinking if I can do like a Airtel collab where I can be like har jagah network aaya. It's a great, and I don't even want them to pay a lot of money, right? Like 7-8 lakhs and everything would be covered. So like 7-8 lakhs for a 4-month long engagement for your audience is nothing for like a big brand like an Airtel or a Decathlon. But like most people just didn't see that. But Khayal, this is a small company out of Bombay. They do elderly community. Like they're an elderly community where they take elders for treks and whatnot also. So like, people play Tambola online. So it's all that. They also give them benefits, like as an elderly, what all benefits. So it's like just serving the elderly in the best way possible. So a friend works there and he's in the founder's office. So I spoke with him and he's like, yaar, ye to bahut cool hai. So he gets me to meet his founder. And he's also very excited. He's like, if you can, for the next, for your walk, just interview one old man on the road. And we'll make that an IP. I'm like, this is so cool because you get to. So my idea was also I will make some content where I talk to a lot of people. Let's say, like if you talk to somebody in Kerala and you talk to somebody in Punjab, their life experiences will be so different, right?
Yeah.
And like the food you eat and whatnot, it will be so different. So you'll actually see India's culture on so many levels. And that is what I wanted to do. And speaking to old people was even more like, it'll be more richer, the conversation. So it worked for me, it worked for them. And then I got injured during the training of it. And I had to cancel everything.
Damn.
So it was heartbreaking, of course. But that is how I was on Instagram, and that is how I discovered barefoot shoes actually. So it's crazy that way, right? Like Instagram was also the reason why I know of barefoot shoes and how this all started. So then I learned about, because I saw a lot of these physios in the West, they making content and they're wearing barefoot shoes.
Right.
And they look very funky, so you can kind of spot them. And because of that, I was like, okay, I'll buy something for myself. And in India, if you import, they're very expensive. And Indian products, I tried one, it was good but not great. And I'm like, this is like a blank space that we can probably fill in, because so international products will range from anywhere around 11,000 to 19,000-20,000. Indian product was 2,500, but like subpar China import. Again, China also does great products, but like this was one of those import white label becho products. So I was like, what if we do like a product which is 4,000 to 6,000? We do it at a quality that is international standard. So anyone who's trying to buy the international brand, they have like an Indian alternative which is pocket friendlier. So I spoke back at home, and my dad is like, this is cool, you don't have a job, and I have 90% of my days free because I work from home anyway. So he's also always been into fitness. So we started this, and that is when I moved back home and the vlogs and all, then that started. There was this time so for my long walk that I was planning Kanyakumari Kashmir, I did a random, so Friday evening I'm speaking with friends just like this, right? And the guy said, तेरे को वो करना है ना कन्याकुमारी कश्मीर? हाँ बोला, have you even tried doing 40 kilometers a day? जैसे प्लान बनाया हुआ है. मैंने कहा नहीं किया तो नहीं है. तो बोला कि कब करेगा? And so then I saw that Bangalore airport to HSR is roughly 45-ish kilometers. So one day randomly, so next day only actually, Saturday night, I asked my friend कि मेरे को घर से उठा, morning में you'll drop me to the airport and then I'll walk back. And he also did it. So he picked me up in the morning.
This was trending on Twitter, no?
Yeah, this trended on Twitter.
Yeah,
Raj, who's another founder of Stoa, he posted, and then Peak Bengaluru picked it up and whatnot. And everyone was like, "Itna traffic hota hai, paidal jana easier and whatnot." So that also became like big, and I realized that 45 kilometers every day is not sustainable. So I had to change the plan, and I made it 6 months. So I was like 30 kilometers. I did another walk which is 30 kilometers a day, and that was comfortable. So I was like, okay, 30 works.
I think more than distance, it's
mental,
nature, right?
And
like
I think it's the mental strain of it, because you're used to. So I came here in an hour, right? Right now, I came from HSR to here. When you walk, you will take 6 hours,
right?
Or like not 6 hours, but like
probably
2.5, 3 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah.
So in your head, you're like, I'm used to doing this in 30-45 minutes, and now it's taking me an hour, like 2 hours to do, 3 hours to do. So it's just like you're just drained out because of that. Because one, the road doesn't change. Like you're walking, if it's a long road, right, where there's no turns or nothing, it's much worse. Even if it's like better footpaths and whatnot, you're just so annoyed with your own company almost. So I think it's that. And of course, like once the sun rises, etc., also it becomes much more difficult. A month back, I think we did an event for Zen Barefoot, like in the name of Zen Barefoot at least, where we walked from the airport to HSR again, and 14 people actually joined us for it. So that is quite crazy, right? I mean, now walking has become like a theme that we kind of play with. And I think like it's not walking per se that we kind of I think we promote walking generally also, but the idea is not that we're a walking brand, but it's just that we're a crazy fitness brand. Like that is how we want to place ourselves. Like we're for people who believe in fitness in daily life enough. Like people who want for who life is fitness, or like fitness is life in some aspect. So it kind of fit in really well. And I think a lot of people say this, and I think that is why it's worked also for us, that Zen Barefoot is an extension of who me and my father are as people. So it works out quite well.
But cool. Do you want to plug Zen Barefoot here?
ऐसा नहीं. I think I'm good. I think I spoke about the product enough. I don't like that. I don't even know how to.
Right.
How do you plug Zen? How do you plug Zen? We make shoes that are good for your feet. Most shoes are not. And if you want to know if you want to know more about that, you have our Instagram, our website here and here, I guess. I don't know.
We'll put it in the description.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description.
Yeah.
Cool. That works.
But cool. I think, is that the part?
Yeah, that's the
I
part.
think that's the
wow.
part.
Cool.
Thank you
Lovely.
so much for coming on.
Of course.
It was a
Thank you so
lovely
much for having
conversation.
me. Yeah, lovely speaking about Zen Barefoot and about my journey. I think I learn a lot about myself and what I need to do more when I speak to people, because it gives me time to, okay, you have asked a question. Now I need to actually think what I've done. So yeah, great. Really
Yeah,
helps.
that's the part.
Cool.
Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Guys, we put a lot of effort into this. Please,
Peace.
Thank you for watching this episode. And if you're sticking until here, please consider subscribing, because 83.8% of the people watching the episode is not subscribed. We put in a lot of effort to be able to produce this episodes, and it'll be great gesture from your side if you subscribe or leave a comment or share it with your friends or all of it. So I want you guys to subscribe, and see you on the next one.